Once you grasp this truth that I'm about to tell you, it'll set you free from religion. It'll set you free from parents and moms and family and governments and police, everybody. It'll set you free. And it's simply this. You are divine. God has exploded in a Crab Nebulae explosion, and he has come and manifested himself as billions of people. And you're one of you, and so am I. When I look at you, I see God. When you look at me, you see God. That's why God's name is I Am. I am God. It doesn't mean that me, God. It means I am. When you say I am God, you have to say, what is God's name? I am. What? I am God. Oh my God, then all the people, Christians run around, I told you they think they're God. I don't think anything on the side. No, Jesus Christ said, the scripture says you are God, and the scripture cannot be broken. So he said it.
Yeah, like I'm not third album.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be discussing the moon in Gemini, continuing my moon through the signs series. Yeah, so the moon represents your mind, your emotions, the way you think, how you think, how you behave and respond to situations. It's emotional fulfillment. It rules the fourth house, which is also ruled by Cancer. And that consists of, home, security, your roots, where you come from. And the moon also represents your mother. Um, it kind of shows us our emotions stem from the survival of our childhood and our relationship with our mom. And then it kind of bleeds into our adult life and shows us how we act due to the things that we've learned from our mother and our childhood. It's the subconscious mind, Um, yeah, it can affect how we express our emotions and how we connect with others in relationships as adults. Gemini rules communication, ideas, childhood education, learning, teaching, studying, entrepreneurship, the community, um, short distance travel, um, and how we process information. So this could have been a Gemini moon person could have had a mother that was had them at a very young age, or they were just very young at heart. Um, they might have made like a lot of childish mistakes throughout their life, and have very detached, they can be very detached from their emotions because for Geminis to feel, they rather think, you ask them how they feel, they be like, I'm thinking. But Geminis are more intellectual. They show how they care through their conversations, teaching, learning, and studying, doing multiple things at once. And so your mom could have been somebody who was very conversational. She taught you things, how to read, how to walk. You might have been very advanced for your age, where you knew how to walk and speak at a very young age. But it lacked the nurturing and the connection. Again, it was very much intellectual. They might have liked to talk and have a bunch of different conversations about a lot of different things. Um, And this could have led to like having a very close relationship with your mom, even almost close to a friendship with your mother. Um, and might have even, you know, um, been had more freedom because they're not like a very disciplined energy. It's about freedom, having the freedom of choice. Gemini rules choices or having to make decisions. Um, and and so this could have led to you having like a lot of freedom with a mom that's a friend as opposed to somebody who's strict and disciplined and kind of like puts the hammer down. Not to say that you didn't get disciplined or anything like that. It was just a lot more freer connection in that way. But she might have encouraged intelligence and not kind of this emotional, touchy-feely kind of connection. This taught you to be emotionally independent, and you might have had to learn at a very early age that you couldn't depend on your mom in that way. Um, you might have even been raised by the community where, as you had so much freedom that you were like friends, all the moms love you, you know, even if the person is on punishment, you're the only one who could ever come around. This is real life stories I'm sharing, by the way, family, because I promise you, as a Gemini sun, it was a real thing, you know. Um, so you could, how they say it takes a village to raise a family. You definitely could have been somebody who had a bunch of different moms in the community. Um, this also kind of contributes to your intelligence and how different households are ran and the respect for that or the non-judgment of that because you've had so many different kinds of experiences. It kind of makes you a little bit more open-minded to other people's situations. Um, you could have been you could be somebody who like in a relationship as an adult if your particular person has kids or just with kids in general when you notice or see that they have a mom that's kind of emotionally detached you would be you would become a mentor to that child because you know what it's like being raised by a mother like that. And so you kind of picked up the torch and stepped up and stepped in. Um, yeah. Um, Making you very wise at a young age, not just intelligent, but wise. Um, mm, you may have had like a lot of experience of doing different things or trying different things from being in different families, like going different places, experiencing different people and different relationships at a very young age. And not necessarily, obviously, romantic, but just all kinds of relationships with other people, just by being in other families and things of that nature. Um, Yeah, Geminis are curious, they're the jugglers. Some say the jack of all trades and master of none, but it's really the jack of all trades and the master of all trades. But most people won't give Geminis that credit, especially if you got some strong Neptune placements or Pisces placements in your chart. You could be seen as a little bit more lackadaisical. Um, deceptive, um, and things of that nature. So it really depends on how your chart is set up, what house the moon sits in, and what's aspecting the moon that really makes the difference to all of this. But that's the true statement. Geminis really do master um, multitasking to a T because they are the energy of the children. It rules childhood education and how children learn just through observation. And you can mimic or mock things the way children do throughout your life. So you're a fast learner. It's easy for you to pick up on things. And because your life and how you've grown up, it tends to make you have grasp to more information. That's why they say knowledge is power. The more you know, it just makes life a little bit more easier to understand and maneuver through and not get stuck or have fear and things of these nature. Geminis are some of the best entrepreneurs or even self-made to be more literal. But yeah. Um, but because you've had a bunch of different experiences, you might have even moved a lot. Um, this could lead to a lack of stability, security, and discipline to complete tasks. So it is something that you have to learn over time, and as you become an adult, you master over time um, through the experiences that you go through. Um, or even another way this can come up is always being confused from having so many choices and not knowing what to choose. That's another way this can show up. Um, this could also lead to you not knowing how to process your emotions. You rather be more intellectual and conversational again, because this is the way your mom raised you, and you might really think things through or be in your head a lot and overthink things. Um, it might have been easier to have friends with boys than girls because girls tend to need a more emotional attachment, whereas men don't really do the emotional thing either. So you might have had a lot more friends as boys than girls. Um, these are some of the least judgmental people because they've been through so much and was raised around different people. Um, these people tend to date younger than themselves because they're young at heart, and even not afraid to be alone because of that detachment style. There is some sense of the need to be alone with yourself, with your thoughts, to stay in tune with who you are and what you want. Where again, if you're around other people, you really do pick up um, their mannerisms and ways of life and things of that nature. Like Geminis can be really good actors. I would imagine that people who are in the acting industry have very heavy Gemini placements in some way, shape, or form due to the fact that you have to memorize your lines and create characters, right? And again, because Geminis are typically raised with these kinds of abilities, it's easier for them to pick up on roles like that. They're very quick learners and can memorize their lines, and even ad-libbing, I'd imagine would be very easy for Geminis. But Gemini also rules like the Joker, um the memes, the mimes, that's what they're called. The people who are like that do that kind of thing, or anything to do with that kind of field, comedians and things like that, where again you're mocking somebody in some way, shape, or form, or able to manipulate energy. and or again, people, places, and things, right? And so they're very good at this. And this is why a lot of people dislike Geminis, or they say Geminis come off as fake and gossipy and all these other things because they can pick up on these types of things easily and blend right in very quickly. Um, Kind of like a chameleon. And so um because the way you were raised or the experiences that you had, these are some of the most least judgmental people. And they really don't mind being alone, but they also attract people who are detached, standoffish, possessive, even um, controlling. Um, it's not exactly the same detachment style, but typically they want to control you in some way. Um, yeah, which by the way doesn't work for a Gemini. Okay. But but that's something that you have to overcome and get grounded in and really understand why you're attracting those type of people and grow out of through some kind of spiritual awakening process, um to knowing the difference between the two, right? But typically you are attracted to those type of people because there's some level of space in the relationships, and these all air signs in general tend to appreciate space and relationships again to stay who they are, because they can absorb other people's energy really, really, really down to a T and get lost in who they are, and being other people. And so that detachment style is important for air signs in general, but obviously specifically for Gemini moon people. Um, you guys are very smart, um, but it could also lead to mental health issues, or your mom has mental health issues. This could be somebody who has really bad anxiety or social anxiety, or lacks empathy in like dire situations, like somebody's in the hospital and you're like, well, why are they in the hospital? Very practical, and somebody who's wants the details as opposed to somebody who's coming in saying, are you okay? How are you doing? Again, their um attachment style is more connected to intellect, talking, asking questions, being curious, and wanting to know what the heck is going on, like gathering information and data, right? Um, so again, these people need to be learning, consistently learning, or again, gathering information or surrounded by information in some way, shape, or form in order to process their emotions. Some people will say the opposite and say that they're not, but there are very many different ways to process information. And once you have kids of your own, you will learn. No, there's no can about it. That's going to be your karma, right? Because you have to learn how to contend with your emotions, right? And 9 times out of 10, it's still going to be through some kind of knowledge or going to counseling or talking to somebody, talking things through, to help you process your emotions. These are people who could be writers, doing again multiple things at once. This is a person who's the director, the writer, the screenwriter, the character, and Jamie Foxx must have heavy freaking Gemini placements because he can play like 7 people in one movie. you know, it's that person who wants to do everything, and it's like you cannot survive like that. It's not healthy. For the longevity of your life, you have to build a team. And so those are things that Gemini moons have to overcome. Um, Again, yeah, they're great entrepreneurs and business people. Um, do anything in entertainment, rap, ghostwriting, um, acting. Um, I did do a career series through the signs. It is unfortunately on my other YouTube page, so you have to go to A Way of Life, and that's life is spelled Lyfe to get that playlist. I do think it's on my website, but don't quote me on that. If you can't find it and you're somebody who's like, oh, I want to know what kind of careers are for Geminis, not necessarily Gemini moons, by the way, but you can just leave me a comment and I'll send you the link. But as usual, family, leave a comment. Let me know if this resonates with you, if the information is helpful in any way, shape, or form. I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.